to Unarmored Talk podcast, where we will have real life conversations to help you develop an accurate way of thinking. And we're going to do this by trying to better understand how feelings, emotions, and thoughts can influence a personal and professional challenge and the outcome of that challenge. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Mario P. Fields, and today's guests are the Floyds. The Floyds, they've been married since they were 13. They got consent from their parents. I've known them since I was 6. And I tell you, John and Trina are a wonderful couple. And I can't wait to jump into the topic, the story for today. But John and Trina, can you tell the listeners and viewers a little bit about yourself?
We have been married more accurately since we were 20.
Accurate,
and
I like that word.
It's been 25 years. We have 2 children. We met in the Marine Corps. We are both Marines.
Semper Fi. So you're both Marines. Who's the highest ranking official?
That'd be me. Of course, that'd be me. Back then, but now it's her. It's how it goes.
I love it. Go ahead, Trina.
But our daughters are 11 years apart. Yep. We had one while we were in the Marine Corps, while I was still active duty, and then one 11 years later.
11 years later, huh?
Yeah, we waited.
I like that. Patience is a virtue.
So
we needed it.
Yeah. No.
You know, and I gotta be honest, ladies and gentlemen. I've known Trina and John for quite some time. So just for the show, I have to make it like I don't know them a little bit, but I know a lot about them and their families, like our family. So anyway, and I'm glad you guys were able to block some time off and come on the show and get into this topic that we're going to talk about. I think, Trina, you mentioned earlier that John was wishing for some type of medical issue on the drill field.
Yes, I did. He wanted, he's very dramatic. And so, you know, he got a little heart issue, dilated cardiomyopathy, which is something usually seen in people over the age of 60, around 70, 80.
Wow.
So,
wow. Yeah, I'm an old soul.
Well, hey, let's jump right into the topic. I mean, you're mid-20s, you're on a drill field, and you have congestive heart failure, which that's serious. And I really, really love the humor that you and Trina are able to use in a serious topic, in a serious situation. I know it wasn't funny then, but let's talk to the listeners and viewers about, what happened.
Well, before I get started, once again, I want to make a shout out to DI class 4-99. I know, like I said before, we lost a few along the way. Prayers go out to them and their families. I miss all you guys from the drill field. Good times, good memories, even with all this we're about to talk about. So basically started, wasn't feeling good. We were working platoons. Wasn't feeling good. Went into the hospital a couple of times. They told me pneumonia, double pneumonia, flu. Ended up heading out to the rifle range and almost fell down the stairs. So just almost collapsed. Luckily, I grabbed the rail, went to BAS to do a check. They sent me to battalion aid station, base aid station, and then doctor, a very vigilant doctor, did some checks. Luckily enough, she listened to my heart one more time and then got some medical journals out, sent me to get a whole bunch of tests done, some x-rays, some blood work, EKG, you name it, in front of the line, man. Came back to her office. She had those journals sitting out. She listened to my heart one more time and it was like, hey, we usually don't find this in people your age and your condition, the way you were healthy and in shape. You got dilated cardiomyopathy.
Wow. And you mentioned the rifle range. Were you a drill instructor working at that time when you were going out there, or were you just kind of doing your annual qualification?
Nope, we were actually taking them out for quals. We're getting them out there to get ready for quals.
Wow. And, so you got the campaign cover on and all, and you just can't even understand why your body's shutting down.
Nope. best shape of my life.
Didn't drink, didn't smoke, didn't do a drug in his life.
But he's 6'8". Maybe, because he's so tall, the heart had to push all that
6'2".
blood. Okay, 6'2".
Yeah,
6'3" and a half with shoes.
Wow, I like that with shoes. But so here you are. You don't smoke, you don't drink. You're a drill instructor. You're what, 20, 25?
Yep.
25 years old in the prime of your life. Your wife's not stressing you out that moment, right? So, honestly, and ladies and gentlemen, again, I can make these jokes. I know the folks. We're family.
Family, man. Family.
But back to the topic. I mean, you're healthy, and so what goes through your mind when essentially the doctor tells you your heart is bad? It's not good.
At the time when she told me I had 6 months to a year to live, I just kind of went into, I think now, shock. But they say in the Marine Corps, sometimes when you're the most frightened, you go into your basic training state, right? You go to know what you know. I just said, okay, let me know what's going on. I got up, got dressed, and was headed back over to the squad base so I could we could do some drill, because that's the only thing I knew what to do.
And no, you were really good at being a jerk.
Yeah.
Because when I called, you told me you had dilated cardiomyopathy.
Right. That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah. That's what you said.
Yeah.
And so I said, what's that?
So he made it. So he made it like it was just, I got the flu.
Yep. Yes, he did.
Talk to me, Trina. See, that's why I like having spouses. They tell the truth, right?
I didn't know how to take it. To be
right.
perfectly honest. Like somebody, like I said, you're the best shape of your life. Your dream job, your career is going great.
Yeah.
You're doing what you want to do. You're working with amazing people. All of a sudden, somebody says you got 6 months to a year to live.
Good God.
What do you do?
Right.
Okay. You compartmentalize it in your head. You take off small chunks of it, and you keep going forward.
You're right. And how did, someone tells you, hey, you got essentially 180 days. You have 180 days to 365, but your days are numbered on it. We all know our days are numbered, but someone tells you that, in my medical opinion, you got to get your affairs in order. What did that do to the family?
Wow. It took it by shock. Yeah. I keep saying it now. Now I can see it, but before we were just.
He was in shock. I was in, how can I solve this? I tried to solve everything. No, I wasn't in shock. I tried to solve everything.
Right.
And so what I did was I needed to figure out what it was, what we needed to do, who we needed to call. And he actually.
No, she came up to the first sergeant's office crying.
No, I didn't. First I went to I didn't. I went to the battalion aid station and I said, what is this? And they were like, we can't tell you. I was told them. That's right. They were trying to say HIPAA. And I was like, no, because I don't need you to tell me what he has. I need to know what this is. I didn't, it wasn't that. I wasn't asking what John Floyd had or ask what John Floyd had.
Right.
I needed to know what was this, because we didn't have, this was in 2001. No, it was 2000. It was in 2000. And I just need to know what dilated cardiomyopathy was. And they wouldn't tell me without him. So I had to go there and get him to come with me. And that's when I went to your thing. I didn't go to your thing crying. I was crying because nobody would tell me what this dilated cardiomyopathy was. And that's what was frustrating.
Right. And just go ahead, John.
Oh, and at the time, she's like, good being a jerk, because at the time, I'm just handling the best way I had. I just want to get back to work.
Right.
So when she's like, we want to talk, I was like, no, not right now. I got other stuff on my mind.
Right.
We talk later.
I mean, and that's, we talk about mind and accurate way of thinking. And I'm just listening to both of you and just how the way you thought, the accuracy of, okay, let's not try to speculate. Let's not go, what if, why me, or what, let's focus on the knowns. And then let's try to understand the knowns of what is this, and help me understand. And so I think, just listen to you, that played a big part. What do you think?
Oh no, that was actually, for me, a major part. Not so much trying to understand what was wrong. I knew something was wrong.
Right.
At the time, it was me saying, you know what? I can't fix it this very second. Can't. So let's get past whatever I need to get past. What for me was work. I wanted to just get past work, get everything done, and then take a step back then and take a look. Actually, tell you the truth, it hit other people when I had to tell them what it was harder than it hit me at the time.
Right.
Because I'm just like, this is my life now. Or my life is however long this lasts, this is my life now. So
right. And did depression, depression is this very serious, disease. And did you guys have to battle with depression? If you did, how did you get through it?
You know what? It was you go through them stages, you know. I was angry first, like, man, why now? And then, I was in denial. I was like, hey, no one, I can beat this. No big deal. No big problem. I won't have to worry about this. It'll heal itself. And then it was, why me? And that only lasted for a second because I learned, luckily for me, I got what I call the 3 F's: my family, my faith, and my friends.
Right.
Right. And whenever one leg of that is weak, the other 2 always seem to kick it up a notch and bring me back to my center. So it was just a matter of getting, like I said, just getting through whatever trials I was going to have to get through just so I could get back to normal.
Yeah. And the new normal, I guess. And Trina, how did you went to BAS, you went to the command, you got a better understanding of what's going on with your husband, since you were 14, your husband at that time, 11 years and running. But honestly, how did that impact your emotions and your outlook on life?
It was strange because at the time we had a 5-year-old daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And I worried about her not growing up with her dad.
Right.
That was scary. It was scary that no matter what me and John had gone through and stuff, we had sat up there and this man wasn't going to be with me till I was old.
Right.
And that was bothersome, but I'm more worried about just the life he was going to have while he was alive.
Right. Yeah. Wow. And John, what year was that?
Late 2000 into 2001.
Yeah. So essentially almost 20 years ago.
Yes.
April have you ever thought about going to find that doctor that told you have about 180 days to live to go, hey, Merry Christmas?
Actually, a few years after that happened, I got in touch with another doctor that told me I wouldn't make it.
Oh my gosh. So the first doctor gave you some hope. The first doctor said about six months to a year. Yeah, the next doctor said, you're done.
Yes.
Good God.
Yeah. But it was one of those things where you're just like, you at this time, it had gotten progressively worse.
Right.
It was really, really starting. I was in the hospital. I was in and out of the hospital a lot. Some of this I know you can remember. And the one doctor at the Army hospital was like, yeah, you're done. At that time, they gave me just 6 months to live. And they're going to send me to MUSC, Medical University of South Carolina, to see a specialist. And she was like, you're not going to make it. So then after I came back to work and then made the Army times and Marine Corps times and all that stuff, I did make a point to reach out and said, I'm still here.
I'm still here. And look at this. It's 2020, October the 21st, and you're still here. And I love that. And I know Trina, I watched my own eyes what Trina had to do and how she was just very, very focused on taking care of you. And it was just amazing to watch. I know one day I'll go down hard. I know Nicole would be there to take care of the 5'2" person, right? Called Mario P. Fields. But I'm really honored and blessed to have you both on the show, on this podcast. Is there any closing statements or anything that you both would like to leave with the viewers and listeners?
During this time, Easter was a holiday that happened. It was really a time for me and John. Okay, so it was really a time that was, I had time to focus on the Lord and my husband.
So the message is when Easter Sunday come around. No, just...
No, faith. One of the things we have faith. We had faith then.
Yeah.
And if anything, one of the closing messages I would like is the reason he's still here, which we really didn't touch on, was the fact of heart transplants. He's had 2 now, but
wow.
It is because of organ donation that he was able to be around. He walked into that hospital and he was at 6% ejection fraction, which is unbelievable. He walked in there first off like that, but he was dropping quickly. He probably didn't have 2 more weeks to him before getting that surgery. And so minorities need to become more familiarized with organ donation, because that was important in understanding that. For me, a lot of people would reach out and say, somebody has to die for him to live. I just want to point out, I knew people had to die long before my husband had this. And people are going to die regardless. And it's hard. It's hard to sit up there and to lose your loved one.
Right.
But it's also hard to sit up there and watch someone go from being a drill instructor who could walk and, do these amazing things outside of just walking, but just but do these great things and sit up there and go from someone who fell asleep after walking 5 feet because they were so tired, all within a 9-month period.
Yeah.
Wow. Trina, thanks for highlighting organ donors. When you get your new license, renew your driver's license, and then they ask you, would you like to become an organ donor? I've always checked yes, but I've never been this close to a family that checking yes from someone else saved your husband's life. So listeners and viewers, again, if you have a chance to be an organ donor, don't hesitate, as you just heard from Trina Floyd, how that has really saved John's life. And John, you got any closing remarks for the listeners and viewers?
Yes, in your support system. Along with what she said, get familiarized with the information, what's out there, and how it affects us, and how as a minority group, you need to know the avenues to get funding and financial aid. But that all goes along with your support groups and your family and your faith. If you are religious like I am, is sometimes, man, that having that helps so much.
Yeah.
Helps so much.
Yeah.
Oh, one last thing, Nicole, if I don't look good in the video, please accidentally delete it and we'll do it again. Thank you.
Unarmored Talk. This ain't rehearsed. No armor.
That's right.
No armor. It's not rehearsed, so it will be live.
It'll be live.
It's going to be published. Ladies and gentlemen, one thing about you guys, you heard on my intro trailer, there's only one requirement for our guests. Before you come into the show, you have to leave all your armor at the door. And John and Trina, they left all the armor at the door, including how does she look on the camera.